Okay guys, here's your short, quick video to give you a few hints on answering the command term to what extent. So really what you're looking to answer when you're answering to what extent, in this case, to what extent can enculturation explain behavior? Really what we're looking at is you need to decide to what extent. To no extent enculturation influences behavior or completely, right? So is it like 0%? Is it 100%? Or is it kind of like somewhere in between? Could it be here? Could it be there? To a large extent, to a little extent. Okay? If this doesn't help, you could also think of it as a pie chart, right? So to what extent does enculturation explain behavior? Is it maybe around 75%? Again, we're not looking at a specific percentage that you need to identify, but this is what you kind of want to be visualizing in your head. When we think about explaining behavior, yeah, enculturation explains it to a large extent. But when you're considering that, you also need to ask yourself, this is where the critical thinking comes in, what else explains behavior? So what could be in here in addition to enculturation that affects behavior, right? The overall thing that you're looking at is how much does enculturation explain behavior and why. So you need to make sure that you answer the why using knowledge that you know, using examples that you have. In this case, it would be the article that you guys read about culture and intelligence, okay? But again, with the critical thinking, you really need to ask yourself, what other factors affect the variable? What other factors affect behavior? Or in this specific example, maybe intelligence, right? So in addition to what other factors cause it, you could also look more deeply at enculturation itself. So what causes or explains enculturation? So let's take a step back. Maybe enculturation is step B on the scale, on the order of things that leads to step C, but what was really step A that caused step B? Could it be social identity theory affecting enculturation? Social cognitive theory? Social learning theory? What about things we haven't even learned about yet? This is where you're going to want to make notes in our future lessons. Maybe genetics explain behavior. Maybe our mental processes and schemas explain behavior, right? So this is the big picture of to what extent. There are lots of things you want to consider, but it's not that difficult. You just want to ask yourself how much of behavior can be explained by enculturation and why, and then also what other things might affect it.